I know there's a bunch of lawyers out there and engineers and overthinkers that are going to have all sorts of opinions. I welcome them. Let's discuss. When dealing with conversation recordings, you have to look up the wiretap laws in a state to understand whether or not both parties or all parties have to give consent. Generally, we call it a one-party state or a two-party state. But if you're a one-party state, like Kansas, like Colorado, like many other states, then only one person in the conversation has to know that they're being recorded and give consent. Sometimes just the fact of recording someone without their permission is like a non-person felony. It's where the person is located. If someone had to place a claim, they would place it in the court of where they live. So if I'm calling somebody in Florida and I'm recording the conversation, it would be a Florida court's issue and they could prosecute me. That said, video is another animal altogether. Here's what you need to know about video recordings and photos. And this is generally true. So I'm going to read it in regard to Colorado, but it's generally true. In Colorado, privacy laws prohibit anyone from visually recording another without consent in situations where the person has a reasonable expectation of privacy. So if you're walking on a public sidewalk, do you think you have a reasonable expectation of privacy for someone to record the fact that you were there at that time? No. If you're inside your house and somebody's got a camera and they're like telephoto lens super zooming through your window to see you inside of your house, do you think you have a reasonable expectation of privacy? Absolutely. Those would be illegal acts. Now, what if somebody comes into your house and you're having a conversation and signing paperwork together with them? You have a reasonable expectation of privacy inside your own home to be not recorded on film? Generally, I would think so. So in that case, if it's a video recording, I would say that would not be admissible evidence. And in fact, may be a misdemeanor or a felony even to record somebody in their own home, even though you're a guest in the home, because you as a group might have reasonable expectation of privacy. It's going to be up to interpretation. I know there's a bunch of lawyers out there and engineers and overthinkers that are going to have all sorts of opinions. I welcome them. Let's discuss. Yeah, so it's going to come down to local interpretation of what's a reasonable expectation of privacy. So look up your wiretap laws, look up your video recording laws, and it's possible you could strip out the audio from a video and use the audio in a one-party state because there's no reasonable expectation of privacy for an audio recording. How about that? Anyway, I encourage healthy and lively discussion in the comments.